Quick hello to the readers of Auto Scene magazine. Barry from MOT Juice here. I'm going to show you quickly how you can have your say in under 5 minutes on the government MOT consultation. There's a lot in there. I'm going to show you how to navigate it and show you how to protect your industry and jobs and your workload. If you don't have your say, it's going to be no good moaning about it afterwards. I'll see you in the video. So let's dive into this. Here I am on the .gov open consultation. I can scroll straight down. I don't need to read any of that stuff there really at the minute. That's the great big document if you want a good bit of reading. What I want to do is ways to respond online. I click that opens up this document here. There's a little introduction and some usual terms and conditions, but quite simply, name, email address. You are responding, I'm saying on behalf of an organisation, on behalf of my MOT bay. Next page. What's the size of it? Put a number on there. Do we carry out MOT testing? Yes. How, if at all, would your business be affected? Reduced demand, increased job losses. Do you think it's fair to assume that any fall in MOTs will free up garage staff? I think that's completely unfair because I've got people who are just testers. What extent do you rely on MOTs? I'm completely reliant on it. Do you have staff that purely dedicated to MOT testing? Yes, I do. Next page. What percentage are MOT only? I've put percentage in there. Is your business requiring fleet vehicles? No, personally. Proposals here. We're seeking your views on date when first MOT'd and also particulate testing. Other things we're looking at, fees, environmental issues and so on and so forth. So we go to the next page. In your view, should the date of the first MOT remain at 3 years? 100% yes, and I've put in a reason why. Next page, do you think that particulate testing is appropriate? I think it is because it's important to save the environment. Next page, why? So, particulate number testing or NOx readings, nitrogen oxide, its testing is more efficient, it's in line with modern vehicles, and would help us to limit pollution and meet pollution requirements, pollution standards, stuff like that. So it's important that we do it. The equipment is no different to a diesel smoke meter. Not a huge investment. Very easy for us as an industry to embrace that. What would you do about particle testing? I would say that the DVSA just say, right, from say April 26, if you're not got the most recent machines, then you can't test vehicles that are under 10 years old, something like that. So we can all choose to invest or not invest. Next page. Here we are. We've now done the initial survey. We can continue answering the whole consultation, or we can go to the final section. So for me, that means that we've had our say, and we've had our say very quickly. So let's just talk about some of the things that I think are a bit poignant or interesting within the whole survey, which if you carry on doing this, could take you quite a while. You can skip bits of it, you don't have to answer every single question, but for me, taking time to answer every question and leave constructive feedback probably took me 45 minutes. You don't have to do it in one go, you can always save and come back to it. So let's look at a couple of interesting bits from the notes of the consultation. If we go to content of testing, in here it will talk about environmental issues and specifically about hybrids. So there are over 1 million hybrids flopping around, and at the minute we don't test the emissions at all. Those cars are definitely running most of the time on the combustion engine, and I think it's insane that we're not testing those combustion engines. We're missing out on work for the ones that are running badly and polluting our environment. And actually the technology that we need to make a hybrid run within an MOT bay whilst it's stationary and it's safe is so easy to do, it's insane. But for some reason the DVSA are reluctant to force us to do it because they think it's too difficult to do. So we'll come on to that a little bit more later. If we just jump backwards and we look at this section here, which should be really important to all of us, costs and fees. By their own admission, the government are suggesting the price should be perhaps £73.50 now. For me, I definitely wanted to do that section because I wanted to vote for the government stopping discounting of MOT testing fees, and my suggested fee is closer to £100. So if you do nothing else, maybe do the bigger survey and do the costs and fees section. We'll just go back again. I'll jump to one last section. Self-driving vehicles. I think that's quite an interesting section for us to do. I thought about a scenario in maybe 8 years' time when I've got an autonomous vehicle that starts its day by driving me to work. It then goes home, picks up my kids, takes one to her school, takes the other one to her school, goes back, picks up the wife, takes her out to wherever she's going, comes back, takes me to a meeting, comes back, goes and takes my wife up to Tesco's, then goes and takes my daughter to netball, takes my other daughter off to whatever club she's doing, goes and does something else with the wife, comes back to work, takes me to the pub. Whatever it does, do we want the first MOT on that car to be in 4 years' time? So that car's driving around all over the place doing multiple tasks and no one's looked at it for 4 years. The government's argument is that they can use technology to know whether that car's safe. But that's the same government that can't even work out how to get us to test a hybrid car inside a workshop where we've all got diagnostic tools and skills. So for me, I think that within the larger consultation, my suggestion is that an autonomous vehicle should be tested every year in an MOT bay. Certainly not every 4 years and every other year. There we go. I've said my piece. I would encourage everyone to get in there and at least do the short survey. If you get time, do the wider survey, have some feedback, be constructive. Don't be the people that in 5 years' time are moaning because our industry's changed for the worse when you could have had your say now and made sure you protected it now. Remember, we're testers, you're testers. Let's stick together.